Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Beyond the Ball. I am your host, Collie. As you can tell, or maybe you're listening on Spotify and you can't tell, or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen, I am all alone this week, so it'll be a slightly different episode. I've brought back some content that we used to do. I'm going to throw it in. Why not? It's the bets. So I'm going to do a few bets at the end of the podcast. I'll give out what I have selected for the weekend. What I'll do is I'll run through everything that I'm going to be doing now, and then we can move into it. So I'm going to be looking at the embarrassing result for Chelsea. I say embarrassing. Losing 1-0 to the league leaders doesn't sound that bad, really, but believe me, things are a lot worse than they seem at Chelsea. So I'll be looking at that. I'll be looking at the United match and the Liverpool game as well. Then I'll also be looking at the fantasy football this week. We'll give an update on the league table. What else we got? We have the weekend predictions as well. And then obviously we'll finish off with the bet. So I'm going to move into the first thing, which is the weekend review. Right. Where the fuck do I begin with this one? Chelsea and Arsenal. I would have loved to do a reaction after the match, but I was actually over in London, not at the game, trying to get tickets for it, but couldn't. Probably just as well. So yeah, good that I didn't do that. Now, do you know what? I'll bring it up now. One of the lads I didn't know was recording me. To be honest with you, I was away in my own little world that I don't know if I even spotted him, but I definitely looked at his phone. But I'm going to play it, so anybody that's not watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see this. Let me just pull this up. That right there was a defeated man. Again, if you're listening on Spotify, you'll see it on YouTube. You'll see it on the TikTok as well. I posted it on TikTok. I think it's up to 14,000 views or something like that. It's just a reaction of me when the final whistle goes. There's a group of Arsenal fans that are around and they start shouting and banging the table and stuff. So I didn't really appreciate it. But anyway. Graham Potter. The only man in this world I think that excites me less than any other person is Graham Potter. I do not want this guy as manager. I've said it from the start. People are now going, oh, you can't judge it that quick. You can't say it that quick. I can. 100% I can. I'm a fan. I'm entitled to an opinion. I didn't want him in the first place. Why would I change my thing and give him time? Chelsea Football Club is not a work experience club. We kind of had that with Frank Lampard. A little bit. Different circumstances. He came in when we weren't able to sign anyone. We had a transfer ban. We had only just lost Eden Hazard, who was top 3 in the world, in my opinion. I don't think many will argue with that because he was unbelievable. And Frank Lampard changed that team and brought in the likes of Reece James, brought in Mason Mount, all these players that he had on loan at Derby and knew from the academy had been sent out on loan. So it just doesn't get me excited. I see a lot of fans online saying, yeah, we need to give him the time. I just said it. We're not a work experience team where you come in and you let someone try build. If we do that, Chelsea Football Club is going to turn into Manchester United, where we are Liverpool of the past. 30 years without a league. United haven't challenged in the last 10 years. Now starting to look like a good team. Not through development. Absolutely not through somebody building a great thing there. because that's the thing of the past. Modern day football is not getting a manager in and planning him for 10 years. That's not. And if you believe that that is still the way football clubs are run, you're fucking delusional and you need to get with it, because no, that's not how it runs. Chelsea Football Club have a notorious reputation of getting managers in, sacking them when they don't get the results, and getting the next guy in, letting them spend a fortune, getting the results back up where we need to be. As soon as he starts dropping off, sack him again and he's gone. And that's what we need to continue to be. And I'll hear a lot of Chelsea fans, I might get a lot of stick from Chelsea fans saying, that's horseshit. What about our future? The squad is lacking depth. Yeah, okay, but we still have enough to be the likes of Brighton, the likes of fucking get a draw against Arsenal. Like, the top 6 teams now come to Stamford Bridge and expect a draw. It used to be the days where we would actually expect a win for ourselves, and now it's not the case anymore. So it's a sad state of affairs. Talking about squad depth and tactics, in my opinion, is what Potter is getting wrong. The formations he's picking and the players he's picking is not right. We have a weakened defense. We lost Rudiger, who was our best centre half last year. We lost Christensen, who was very good for us. We have an injured left back in Chilwell. We have an injured right back in Reece James. We have Cucurella, who's good, played good for Brighton, still yet to prove how good he is. And we have Chalobah, who is 22, 23, something like that, inexperienced. We've got a 38-year-old Thiago Silva. And we have Koulibaly, who's wilder than an antelope in the wild. Not what a way of saying it. He's wild. He's absolutely headless at times. So why are we trying this football from out the back? I know it seems simple, and we're going to say, yeah, no, that's the midfielders. We need to strengthen midfield as well. We need to strengthen everywhere. We have Kovacic as a centre mid. Perfect. Love him. Can't stay fit. We have N'Golo Kante. Sell him because he's making a fortune and he sits on the bench 90% of the season, every season. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I've said it before, and people are probably sick of me saying it, should never wear a Chelsea jersey ever again. He's absolutely dirt. Conor Gallagher, I really like the look of. He works his bollocks off and it looks like he actually cares. And that, for any Chelsea fan, is all we want. Mason Mount has fell off a cliff in recent games. I don't know why. I don't know why. His passing has been shocking. Even his work rate has been shocking. And he's always been known for his work rate. He's not doing it. He is not doing it. We talk about Raheem Sterling, he's got all the talent in the world. But yet he still tries to get the ball and just run headfirst into people. Aubameyang, people have been slating that I know, Chelsea fans. And I think it's unfair. I think he's very isolated up there in his own. Again, we're a team that is conceding a lot and not scoring a lot. Why are we still playing out from the back and not getting the ball up forward to our strikers? If we can't score, start the 2 strikers together. Give Aubameyang some help. We can say, yeah, we play Havertz up further, but Havertz drifts a lot into like a 10 role. Sometimes you even see him in an 8 role. So we can't say he's getting support. Aubameyang's not getting support. If Aubameyang gets chances, he will score. He might be low on confidence at the moment because he's not getting them chances. He's working very hard for the chances, but he needs support. So for me, Graham Potter's not doing it. Don't want him as manager. Never did. Never will. And I want him out and I want him gone as soon as possible. Chelsea cannot change their policies on how they accept results right now. Can't happen. We can't allow something to happen that's unrepairable. And at the moment, that is exactly where we're going. I'm moving off. Next one, Villa and Manchester United. This one cheers me up a little bit because it was a stark reminder for Manchester United fans that maybe they're not gonna win everything they think they're gonna win. Now, look, Unai Emery's first game in charge of Villa. Very good performance from them. Fair enough, United probably just lacked a little bit. I don't know what it was. Maybe a bit of complacency. Probably not. Probably just a hungry Villa team getting that new manager bounce. Look, I don't think there's much to look into there. People are still trying to protect themselves to the World Cup. We have to remember that we've 1 week left to it, and that means any injury at all is now a potential for your spot to be gone in the World Cup. So we need to be careful of that. This was just one of them games. They just didn't score. Looked like they may have been getting back into it, but no. 3-1 to Villa. Unai Emery, good evening, and on to the next one. Spurs and Liverpool. Unfortunately, we don't have Connor, but fortunately, we don't have to listen to him. So everybody's a winner. Yeah, Spurs. Spurs are just doing the Spurs lately. I actually backed them to finish second in the league this season. Yeah, probably regretting that now because looking at them, maybe I know Son's missing through injury. Kulusevski doesn't seem to be the player he's been so far. Has Antonio Conte maybe just worked them too hard or something? I don't know. Is Kane's head not in it because the World Cup? He's scoring goals. Is he contributing as much? Is he running around as much? I don't know. I don't really know. But Spurs doing the Spurs and kind of bottling at the moment. Liverpool, again, said it before, serious lack of squad depth with them. Klopp for me, look, I get it. I get it. Jurgen Klopp probably shouldn't be questioned as manager there. We can all see the team isn't as strong as it used to be, but this is a team that challenged for a quadruple last year. I know they've lost the likes of Mane and a couple of fringe players and Origi and whoever else, Minamino. I still think they should be doing better, and they have a good, strong 11 now, anyway. So, yeah, I think Liverpool should be performing better. This is a good result to kick them on the way. Unfortunately for them, they have a game probably next week that they're going to win as well, but then there's a massive break. Now, to be fair, if they can get through the World Cup and none of their players get injured again, they're not in a bad position. They're not miles off. They're in 8th position, but they're only 7 points off 4th. Not really a lot considering every team is dropping points. So I wouldn't write off Liverpool just yet, but again, Jurgen Klopp, there is stuff left to be desired there. Right, that's the weekend review done. I'm going to jump into the fantasy football right now. Right. So what I'll do is I will run through the teams and I'll run through the league and we'll be able to see where everybody is and where we're standing. So I'll take myself down to the bottom corner there. So this is my team, an abysmal week. You'll see it now in a sec. So 31 points with an average of 53. Absolutely shocking. I'm probably the worst manager in fantasy football history when you see what I've done here. So Ward in goal was fine, got 6 points, clean sheet. Tarkowski, 1 point. Dallow, 0 points. Bourne, 2 points. Zoom at 1. I've done everything in my power to get Cancelo into this team. Everything I could do to get Cancelo into this team and not take a hit. Get him in for the first time this season. Captain him. And he gets sent off. -4. Patek. Rashford, 2 points. De Bruyne, 7. Martinelli, 3. Kane, get me a goal, 8. And Haaland scoring as well. And when I scroll down another 5 mil, you're going to see why I'm the worst manager in fantasy football history. Because there you go. I've got 24 points sitting on the bench. So, Kepa on the bench, he's injured. He's not going to be playing. I didn't want to take him out anyway. Solanke, brought him in because he was cheap. And I was saying to myself, okay, maybe he'll get a couple of goals. Yeah, he did get a goal. And I have him on the bench. Was going to take Zaha out, but decided, no, I'll just keep him there. He is able to score goals. And yeah, got 12 points. And then Pereira, 6 points. Scored against City. So Oh, I don't know. I'm a horrendous fantasy football manager. And that's all I've got to say about it. So what I'll do is I'll jump onto one of the other lads' teams. Sorry. Let's see who we go. We got the Paddy. Paddy had 41 points this week, 53 being the average, as I said. He had Lloris in goal, 2 points. He had Schär, Cancelo as well, -2. He had Trippier, who was a good one to have in, got 12 points. Raheem Sterling, that's a mistake having him in your team. Phil Foden, he's got Rashford, Martinelli, Almiron. Again, Almiron, unbelievable form at the moment. He had Haaland as captain, which was a risk, I thought. And he had Jesus. Martial, Saliba, and Dyer on his bench. Saliba, obviously, getting the clean sheet against Chelsea would have had 8 points for him, but it wasn't the B. And then on to Connor, who had a better week than the both of us, an above average week, 58 points. He had Nick Pope in goal. He had Saliba playing. He had Cancelo -2. Schär, Cody. He had Almiron for 8. He had Trossard for 5. De Bruyne for 7. Haaland for 8. He had Kane as captain, which is a big one, 16 points. So that was a good return on him. And he had Watkins in as well. He had Pereira on the bench, who got 6 again. It's probably understandable because they were playing City. So I don't blame him for that. We're going to have a look at the league table, an overall league table, and see who is on top. We still have Ushi and Kane on top, Kane City. 74 points this week. That's a great week. 936. We've Collie Lamb clawing his way back up to second. 82 points. That's a savage week. 924, so not far off. 12 points behind. We've got Connor Enniswell. Oh, yeah. In third position, 69 points. I mean, you couldn't write that. James White down to fourth, 909. Johnny Murphy up to fifth with 60. Dean Fletcher down to sixth. Callum Warfield at 7. Craig Mooney, Sonny McGreevy, and Anto O'Rourke. So, good few there, lads, and fair play to you. You're doing well. I just want to have a quick look at Collie Lamb's team to see why he's got 82 points. Trippier, Almiron, Zaha, Salah, Kane, Alvarez as captain, and Haaland. Okay, fair enough. Right, that makes sense. Right, that's everything on the fantasy football. So yeah, that's good. I'm going to jump straight off that and straight into the predictions for this weekend. Okay. So, first game up, Liverpool versus Southampton. I see this being an easy win for Liverpool. One thing that I saw or read or whatever it may be is that Firmino hasn't made the Brazil team for the World Cup. Probably not that surprised considering the other options they have. I think we spoke about it last week. So will this be he'll really want to go for it now and just fucking stick it up your bollocks. You should have picked me. I don't know whether there's like a reserve list where you can still kind of call people up or stuff like that. I'm not sure. There might be. But I would say Firmino now saying, fuck it, let's go for it. He's going to run the bollocks off himself, and I think he's going to bag a goal or two. So I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for Liverpool, and I'm going to say Firmino to score. Next one is Newcastle-Chelsea. Again, like I said, Chelsea just, I don't know. I don't know. Newcastle is probably our dodgy team anyway. But when you've got a Newcastle team who are sitting third in the table, and you've got a Chelsea team who are sitting 7th, 6 points behind them. Chelsea haven't won in their last 4 games, and Newcastle have actually won their last 4 games. I can't see this being anything other than a Newcastle win, and it kills me as a Chelsea fan to have to say that. And I'm going to have to say it's a 2-1 win for Newcastle. And I can only go with the form that I'm looking at, and Callum Wilson and Almiron, for me, have been fantastic. And one of them is bound to score. I'm going to go with Almiron just because I don't think it matters who he's playing. He always manages to score. So I'm just going to go with Almiron. Next one I have is Fulham and Manchester United. Fulham, very unlucky not to get a draw against Manchester City, conceding the penalty in the very last minute. Haaland obviously converting it. Do I see them doing that against Manchester United? I think United are going to bounce back strong from that loss. I don't think Ten Hag will accept that. I think he'll understand it, but I don't think he'll accept it. So I'm going to have to go with a tight win for Manchester United. I'm going to say 2-1. And I'm going to say Rashford to score. Right. That's all I'm looking at. I'm not looking at any other ones. Again, this isn't going to be a massively long podcast. If you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure you follow, subscribe, like, comment. I know you can't do them on Spotify, but you know what I mean. Give us an 5-star rating. If you're on Spotify and you're always listening on Spotify, do us a favor. Go on to YouTube and subscribe. Even if you're not going to be watching us, it helps us. We've been stuck on the same subscribers for ages, and I want to try build that. TikTok we're going to start doing more on. I'm going to post more on, so get us over there as well. But if you can like, share, comment, all that stuff, it really does help. I know there's a lot of silent watchers, viewers, listeners, whatever you may be. I'd like to hear a bit more from you, just to know that people are still enjoying it. Right, so what I'm going to look at now is the bets for the weekend. Do I have a graphic for this? No. So I'm going to do this. Breaking news, the bets have returned to the podcast. Right, here we go. Gonna share my screen. Few bets here, a few mad ones. Sorry, just gonna take a drink of water. Yeah, couple of grand to be won here, I think. First bet up, it's a tenfold, €2 on it. It's 1,300 to 1. This is every single game in the Premier League. I'm just actually gonna remove myself to make it easier for everybody to see if you're watching on YouTube. So I've gone with Man City. I know 1-9. You're probably saying, why the fuck are you putting them in? Look, I'm just doing every single game. Doesn't matter what the odds are. So I'm going Man City 1-9 to beat Brentford at home. Should be an easy win. I'm going with a draw with Everton and Bournemouth. I'm going with Liverpool to beat Southampton, Palace to beat Forest, Spurs to beat Leeds, West Ham and Leicester to draw. Again, I've gone with Newcastle to beat Chelsea because that's how I feel. Wolves to get beaten by Arsenal. Brighton and Villa to draw, and then United to beat Fulham. So again, €2 on that. Get you €2,649. Next one is a 15-fold. You know what we love to do here. We love to bet small and win big. So that's what we're going to try to do. So I have a fiver on this one for the crack. Why not? 500 to 1. So you'll be getting 2,691 back if this wins. So I've gone with a couple of foreign games as well. I've gone with Napoli, Fenerbahce, Liverpool, Tottenham, Portsmouth, Ipswich, Arsenal, PSV, and Porto on the Saturday games. Then I've gone on to Sunday as well. And I've gone with Burnley, Roma, United, Milan, Besiktas, and Sporting. And a lot of them are heavy favourites. Like they're all favourites, but a lot of them are like 2-9, 2-7. We've 2-7 again, 3-10. So there is some good, well fancied favourites in there. So it's worth having a look at, I think, anyway. So I've thrown what there's one that fiver, was it? Fiver on that, $2.5 back. Happy Christmas. Next one, another fiver, a 9-fold this time. 270 to 1, so you'll get back €1,364. So I've gone with Ipswich, Portsmouth, Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday, Wickham, Plymouth, Crewe, Leyton Orient, and Notts County. All English teams, all on Saturday, all at 3 o'clock. So hopefully we can get something out of that. And then I believe the last one I have is a 4-fold. bets, €3. So I've got fourfold bets, fourfold draws is what I'm trying to say. So I've gone with Bournemouth and Everton to draw. I've gone with West Ham and Leicester, so the two that I picked from the start. And then I've gone with Coventry and QPR to draw. And I've gone with Oxford and Port Vale to draw. If the four of them draw with a €3 stake, we get €382 back, which ain't too fucking shabby, I might say. So yeah, if you are listening on Spotify and it is before the Saturday, you can go onto the YouTube. You can physically see the bets there while you're there again. Hit subscribe. But you can see them all there. You can see the returns. You can see the stakes. You can see everything on it. So if you want to go to YouTube, even if you want to go to the last 2 or 3 minutes of the podcast, you'll see them all there. I'm going to wrap the podcast up because, like I said, Connor and Paddy were due on, but unfortunately stuff came up. So hopefully we will be back to normal service next week. This weekend is our last game of Premier League fixtures. So I'd say next week we will probably have a review of this week's fixtures, and then we'll be going into a World Cup one. Look, we're going to do what we can with the World Cup. It's not as good as the Prem. To be frank, I fucking hate international football, but I do like a major tournament. So, yeah, we're going to try keep the content up. We'll see how it goes. Right, that's us done. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, make sure you hit like, hit subscribe, send us in a comment. Don't worry, we do see them after the thing has been put out. It doesn't have to be live. We usually do this live. This isn't live. It's pre-recorded. So yeah, give us a fucking dig out, will you? Come on, get your shit together. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see everybody next Tuesday at 8 p.m. right here on YouTube. Goodbye.